Hey guys, Justin here with Reich Training, coming to you with a video on some foundational exercises that I want you to complete during the week. I'm going to be demonstrating the exercises themselves, giving you rep ranges, as well as how many sets you need to be doing, and the rotation of these exercises and how you can do this. Okay, so the first exercise that we're going to be doing here is a 7-way hip routine. This is going to work your glute medius, and you have to position your body in a certain way in order to activate that lateral hip muscle. This muscle is responsible for knee alignment and knee stability, very specific to soccer and maintaining the integrity of the knee and hip joints. So this is going to prevent injury, and this is going to increase your speed and power as you develop this muscle. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your side here, have your shoulders stacked, your hips stacked as well vertically, so you're not leaning back or forward. You can use that top hand to stabilize yourself. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to internally rotate your hip, so your entire leg rotates inward, and what you'll see is my foot is nice and level with the ground, or even tilted down a little bit with my heel up and my toes down. The other thing that you're going to be doing is keeping your toes pointed up towards your body, okay? So you're not pointing out like this, you're gonna be flexing that foot up towards your body, keeping it in this position the entire time as you go through these 7 routines. So the first routine you're gonna be doing is just lifting up like so. What I see a lot of athletes start to do as they get fatigued is that foot and hip starts to rotate upward, and you wanna prevent that from happening at all costs. So you keep it down, it's going to burn, but you keep that foot internally rotated, that hip internally rotated, you're going to focus on that glute med being activated, okay? So the first exercise, to reiterate, is going to be lifting up, okay? After you finish 5 up to 20 reps of that lateral, lifting of the leg, you're going to then kick your leg forward as far as you can, keeping that hip internally rotated 5 to 20 times. Third exercise is going to be kicking backwards, extending the hip, keeping it internally rotated. Fourth exercise is going to be forward and back. So extending and flexing the hip. Fifth exercise is going to be circles, going forward. Sixth exercise, going backwards. And then the 7th and final phase is bicycles, keeping that hip internally rotated. All right, so that is the 7-way hip routine. You're gonna be doing 3 sets of 5 to 20 reps each routine. By the 7th routine of the bicycles, if it's not burning a lot, then you're not doing enough. So you need to bump it up to 8, 9, or 10 reps each routine to be able to really fatigue that glute medius. As you start to build and condition yourself, push the rep count to where you're increasing volume. All right, so the next exercise we're going to be going over is a VMO step down. This is going to focus on knee alignment and hip alignment. What you're going to do is you're going to put one leg on. I like to do my less dominant leg first. You're going to place weight on that foot, on that leg, keeping your foot flat to the point where this left leg is freely floating back and forth. I'm keeping my shoulders back. Notice I'm bending the leg here just to a point to where I extend that left leg down to tap the ground. I'm not putting any weight on that left leg. It's just floating freely, tapping up and down. And I'm putting all my weight on that right leg. I'm lining up my knee on the outer 3 toes, okay? So when my knee opens, now it's shading, it's hovering over the last 3 outside toes of my foot. A lot of athletes, when I start this off with them, you start to see you're bending, you're going down, you're going up. See how my head travels up and down? You don't want that motion. What you want to do when you put all the weight on that leg is you stay static. You're in this position the entire time. That's how you know you're putting all your weight on that leg. When you're doing this VMO step down, and if your knee caves in, and you can't control that, no matter what you do, that knee is staying in. You can't pull it out like this. No matter how hard you try, you can't pull that knee out. I want you to do the follow-up exercise that I'm about to provide for you guys. So this exercise focuses on the same muscle group, the VMO, but it's going to do it in a much more controlled setting. So what you're going to do is just sit upright right here. Have something that allows for your knees to naturally bend. So you're putting something underneath your knees to allow for your knees to flex like this. What you're going to then do is point your toes up towards your body, and you're going to extend your knees and squeeze. So you're going to hold for 5 seconds and drop it down. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you're going to do that for 3 sets of 10. Do that for a couple weeks, and then try to go back to that VMO step down to see how your knee positioning is that second time around. Because you'll be doing the 7-way hip to activate your outer glute, which is going to help open up that knee. And you're going to be stabilizing the knee with that VMO activation that I just showed you. So the last exercise I'm going to show you guys that I'll have you do is bird dogs, quadruped bird dogs. So there's 3 different ways that you can do this. There's actually 4 with an additional progression as you develop stability and strength. The first one, what you're going to do, you're going to be on your hand and knee, opposite arm, opposite leg, are going to be planted on the ground as you extend your opposite arm and opposite leg outward. So I'm not just holding it up, I'm actually extending out and kicking that other leg out. Okay? So you're going to extend out, try to keep it nice and stable. If this is too easy, you can progress to balancing on the knee and lifting your foot up, holding that position. The third progression is popping up on your toe and staying on your hand. The fourth progression, you're going to be on your hand and toe, holding this position, but then adding a trunk rotation. Extending out and crunching. Connecting knee to elbow. The other key thing, when you're on your hand and toes, your hips should be somewhat level with your shoulders. So you're going to be out right here, you don't want your butt popped up. You got to bend your knee to keep your hip nice and level with your shoulders. So to reiterate, that's going to be 3 sets, 30 to 60 seconds each side. All right, so to recap on everything, you're going to be doing 3 different exercises. It's going to be the 7-way hip routine, it's going to be the VMO step down or the VMO activation, and then finally the quadruped bird dogs. You start to do all these 3 times a week, you're going to develop a foundation for strength and stability, which is going to allow you to go into more advanced speed and strengthening exercises and routines. Also, on a final note, parents, I want you to hold your athletes accountable. A day in between these exercises is more than enough time, and it's enough frequency throughout the week to create that adaptation and progress your athlete. Also, I provided a tracking sheet that's going to allow you and your athlete to track your reps and see how they're progressing every single week. This is going to be really crucial for their progression. You want to be able to see what they've done so that you can build off of that. So I encourage you to be their coach, instruct them on form based on the videos that I provided, and push them. Also, if you have any questions or concerns or need additional personalization for your athlete, I can be contacted at the phone number and email I provided below.